For this project, I will be doing a mukbang. It will be Chick-fil-A. I did it so that we can enjoy food together and speak about the issues surrounding white privilege in America. The reading I will be focusing on is called White Privilege: Unpacking the Invisible Knapsack, written by Peggy McIntosh. There are many aspects to this reading that make it important. I think one very powerful part is how McIntosh says 50 things that can be seen as white privilege. This may shock readers to see that so many common things are white privilege. I think that another important thing that is also the main idea is that everyone was taught that racism is only when someone has harmful actions. McIntosh speaks how this is not the case. Racism is seen anywhere, including internal biases and microaggressions. I think it's important that McIntosh not only wants to bring awareness to white privilege, but also wants to find a way to fix it. She mentions how she believes that whites are taught not to recognize white privilege growing up. I think this is a very important sentence to the beginning of a paragraph, because she goes on to describe how people are taught to be oblivious to white privilege. To summarize this reading, McIntosh goes over how white privilege is not earned and how to be able to stop it. Everyone must be aware of its effects. She gives many examples in which white privilege exists in her life, and how meritocracy is a myth and no one moves up in life just for pure talent and their own ambitions. I picked this reading over all the other ones because of the Black Lives Matter movement that is occurring right now. It interested me so much to see this reading assigned because I see it in my daily life. One quote that really struck me was when McIntosh said, "Whites are taught to think their lives are just as morally neutral, normative, and average, and also ideal, so that when we work to benefit others, this is seen as work that will allow them to be more like us." I was surprised to see this because it is very true. In today's society, white privilege exists, and to make society equal and fair, anyone without white privilege is expected to rise up to their place in the societal hierarchy, rather than people with white privilege stepping down from their hierarchy and meeting at a middle ground. The Black Lives Matter movement revolves mainly against the injustices that the African American race has to face. White privilege is seen in America, is seen throughout America when we look in the fears White privilege is seen throughout America when we look at the fears a black male has to face versus what a white male would feel in that same exact situation. One key quote McIntosh says that is, "Some privilege should be a given." She says that, open quote, "Some, like the expectation that neighbors will be decent to you or to your race, will not count against you in court. It should be the norm of society," end quote. Another key thing that I would like to say the author would agree on is how we should not fear getting pulled over because of their race. Overall, white privilege is a contemporary issue in itself and needs to be widely known so that everyone can do their part to fix it. Black Lives Matter is trying to create equity in society so that everyone gets a fair chance, so that meritocracy may actually exist in America. As McIntosh said, Black Americans should not have to rise to privilege, but instead all races need to find a common ground so that everyone is equal.